All right, and welcome to episode. Oh man, I was supposed to look up and see what episode number this was. I forgot. I don't remember what episode this is, man. Welcome to episode something of the While You Were Sleeping podcast. I'm your host, Tyrell James. I got a special guest with me, Sequann Daniels. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good and yourself.
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. So, with this podcast, what I do is I'm going to ask you some questions about dreams. Okay. I want to first talk about dreams that you had while you were sleeping. Then I want to kind of get into daydreams, and then I want to talk about your dreams and aspirations.
Mm.
But with each one of these particular types of dreams, I want to link it to what it is that you do. So we just finished doing the Rorschach Test podcast. With that podcast, I tapped into your conscious mind.
Right.
And well, I attempted to anyway. You made it very difficult for me on that podcast. But now we're going to try to tap into your subconscious mind
Right.
and try to connect that to what it is that you do. So, but before we do that, first I just want for anybody who may have missed the Rorschach Test podcast, or if they just need a refresher, let them know who you are and what it is that you do.
My name is Sequann Daniels. I'm from Woodside, Delaware, and I make drinks, twisted mixed drinks, alcoholic, any type.
All right, so you are a mixologist.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, so tell me this: have you ever had a dream that has had like a significant impact on your life? And I mean something that like after you woke up, it just it affected you in a way that made you think, made you make certain changes in your life, inspired you to do something, just something that was just um, something just had an incredible impact on your life. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot one thing. I have to do this. I have to link all of this to what it is that you do in 30 minutes
Okay.
or less.
Uh,
I time myself with this one. So, all right. So, all right, you'll go.
okay. I've had dreams of not having anything. Like, I mean, it's hard to. I mean, I had dreams to where I was doing the same thing over and over,
Okay.
and I had to keep repeating it to move on with the next level. I had a crazy dream like that one time.
Mhm.
Um, and it made me change some things in my real life. I think it connected to that. Um, but yeah, it's like a dream. Sometimes I tell my cousin like, "Yo, bro, I feel like I'm in a dream, like a cycle, and I can't go to the next level until I break it. Until I do something other than that." You know what I mean?
Okay. And that's a recurring dream?
Um, I would say no. That was one dream that I had,
Okay.
but in my everyday life, I feel like I'm doing certain things that's a cycle as well.
Okay.
And
You
yeah,
feel like you're living that dream at times.
yes, at times, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, all right. So, in linking this to what it is that you do, so doing the same thing. Well, I think it was Albert Einstein said that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So, that dream seems like it seems like a fear. It seems like your your conscious fears manifesting themselves in your dreams in a way that allows you or forces you to become complacent and to just become stagnant and to stay where you are, because in order for you to be successful you have to evolve. You cannot stay the same. You have to change. If it doesn't change, it won't grow. So it just seems like that dream is a fear, but not only that, it also seems like it's a warning. It's a warning that if you do stay at this place, then you won't become successful. But if we go a step further, it seems like it's also motivation.
Right.
It's all about how you want to look at the dream. And I feel like, it kind of, you can look at all three of those things and use them all as motivation. Well, motivation being the third thing. I guess the first two things can lead to the third thing. But the fear leading to motivation. I forgot what did I say what the second part was?
Um,
This is what happens when you bring these twisted drinks in here. Like I forget stuff. But um, but yeah. So it leads you to a place of moving away from complacency, and deciding that you need to focus on um your business and evolving and changing. So now, in linking that's what it is that you do, as far as being a mixologist and making these drinks, you know that if you were to be complacent with this, then you're not going to succeed.
Right.
You know that if you were to just make one type of drink, if your marketing isn't on point. Now we spoke about it having in the on the Rush Like Test podcast, we spoke about the fact that you have these in these pouches and you have this cool logo on these pouches, whatever, and just the way that marketing, that's part of your evolution.
Right.
It's part of you moving on, and you even spoke about change on the Rorschach Test podcast. You went from having them in, you said you had these little plastic cups, then you had them in mason jars,
Mm-hmm.
and then you moved on to these pouches, but you understand evolution. So it's almost as if you are maybe even subconsciously recalling that dream that you had and realizing that that dream will, if you were to act in your life the way you acted in that dream, then you will not become successful. You're doing everything that you have to do to work against everything that dream um, represented,
Right.
because that dream represents a lack of success. It represents complacency. It represents failure, and you were able to wake up and decide that's not going to be me. That's not going to be my life. That's not going to be my business.
Right.
You're headed for success. So now let's move on to your daydreams. So, and when I say daydreams, I don't mean anything that you are consciously thinking about. I mean, do you ever find yourself just sitting and just thinking, or just doing anything, and then all of a sudden your mind just wanders off?
All the time.
Okay, so what kind of things do you think about when your mind wanders off?
I think about everything. Like I'm I'm a big daydreamer. Like that's one of the main things I do.
Hmm.
Sometimes I could be cooking or might be in class. I might be daydreaming about being on a beach with five women on my side. Everything. I daydream about a lot. I daydream about where I want to be at,
Okay.
and I daydream about things that I regret, and yeah, like a lot of things,
Hmm.
or what I'm going to do next. What I'm
Hmm. Let's talk about those regrets. With your regrets, are these things that you've done that you wish that you could change, or are these things that even though you regret them, you wouldn't change them because they have shaped you to be who you are now?
hmm, that's a great question. Uh, I would say I'm glad that it happened. I would go back and change it, but I accept the fact that it's making me a stronger person.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. I got you. Got you. Yep. I hear that loud and clear, and I receive that, and I hear you. I hear you. That touched me actually,
Right.
because um, I have regrets and things that I would like to change, but I feel as though it has shaped me. So
Right.
so I hear that. I hear that, and I receive that. Okay, so now let's move on to your dreams and aspirations. So when you were younger, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I want to be a football player.
Okay, are you still playing football?
No, sir.
Okay, and you did play in college though for one
For
year.
yeah,
Okay, okay, all right. So you wanted to be a football player, and that's it. That's all you wanted to be.
I wanted to be like I wanted to be a brand ambassador. I wanted to represent something. You know what I mean? I
Mm,
wanted to be in commercials,
okay,
stuff
but
like
you said
that.
a brand ambassador though.
Hmm.
Okay. Now that's on par with what it is that you do with your drinks.
Right.
With your brand. That's Twisted is that's your brand, and you are the ambassador.
Right.
Yes. Yes. So that worked. Let's talk about football though. So you went to play for the Cowboys, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course you did. What? What? Oh yeah, we got a Steelers fan in the house too.
We got another one right
Another
there.
Steelers
Uh-huh.
fan. And so, oh. Two Cowboys, two Steelers, and then I'm all alone with me and my Washington football team. But we're gonna do better than the Steelers and the Cowboys or whatever.
Washington team.
But with football, so what position did you play?
I play safety and running back.
Safety and running back.
Mhm.
You're pretty fast, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Cool. Why did you stop playing?
It was a relationship, and I learned so much from it. I chose the relationship over not I wouldn't say over the football situation. I feel like the relationship affected the football situation, which led to me um not being able to play anymore. You know what I mean?
Okay. Are you still in that relationship?
No, got up out of there. You know what I mean?
Okay, it's probably best.
Yeah,
You think about going back to football?
all the time.
Yeah.
That's another thing I daydream about
Mhm.
every day.
You think you're gonna do it?
I want to.
Yeah.
But then there's other stuff I have to worry about as well. So, but I ain't. I feel like I can do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's in college or Canadian football or any type.
Football players like to drink, so you got.
Yeah.
You can probably make some money in the locker room with your drinks.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, man. What's funny, man, on the Rorschach test podcast. Like, remember I was telling you we were going through those Rorschach tests so fast.
Yeah.
We have gone through this this particular podcast pretty fast. I mean, we have pretty much done, and we've done it in almost 13 minutes. And I give myself 30 minutes to do this, but
Right.
it seems like with you things are very I don't want to say simple, but it is you make it easy. It's like with a lot of my people I've had to peel back layers,
Mm-hmm.
peel back layers, and you are you're more so like, all right, look, here it is. You don't have to peel back any layers. Here you go.
Yeah.
Here you go. You got everything. No peeling back of the layers, and because of that, you have given me uh, everything that I needed pretty quickly
Right.
for these podcasts. I guess I haven't linked the football part to what it is that you do. Um, but football is very competitive, very very competitive, very aggressive.
Mhm.
And as I would imagine, the alcohol business is very
Yeah.
competitive, very aggressive. Um, and the aggression that comes with being a football player,
Mhm.
that's something that you can carry with you with the alcohol business. It's sports in general. I believe it's really really good for kids to play sports.
Mhm.
It teaches them a lot. It teaches them about unity,
Right.
teaches them about being a team player. It teaches them, I mean, unless you got somebody who's playing golf or tennis, one of those sports where, it's just one person versus everybody else,
Yeah.
But when you're playing these team sports, you're able to, learn these things, the unity, the teamwork, working with other people. But also, it teaches you to be an individual amongst a group of people.
Yeah.
You know, together we have to come together to make this thing successful.
Mhm.
But I have to do my part as an individual, and so and I have to do my part as a competitor,
Right.
So tying that into what it is that you do. So now you don't necessarily have a whole team of people or a group of people, and eventually I imagine you will eventually need that, because to get to the level that you're trying to get to, you're going to need a team. You're going to need people around you,
Right.
but you're still going to be able to you're going to have to be that individual, that star player.
Mhm.
that you're gonna have to be that star player because this all revolves around you, and this
Okay.
is your creation. So, all right, man. 15 minutes. I did this. I was pretty impressed with myself. Not my last podcast, the podcast before that. The person when I did this dream podcast, I did it in 19 minutes,
Right.
and I just did this one in about 15. So I'm pretty damn dope. So, all right, man. But before we get out of here, though, I want you to let everybody know. I know you already did it on the Rorschach Test podcast, but I want you to do it again. Let everybody know where they can find you.
How you doing? My name is Sequann Daniels. You can find me on Instagram at Twisted TAAHWISTED, and my personal account SEQQUANN.
All right, you all be sure to go check him out. Get these drinks because they're good and they're strong. And until the next time, sweet dreams.